Red Sox fans, and welcome back to Talk Sox. Brandon and I have been on a little bit of a hiatus as we were covering the World Series, but now we're back, and we're here to talk about, of course, the Red Sox, specifically two players who have received a very, very important award. Ceddanne Rafaela and Wilyer Abreu have received the Golden Glove Award for 2025, and we cannot think of two Red Sox that are more deserving. Brandon, what are your initial thoughts on these two great players?
Yeah, I mean they're worthy of it. Ceddanne Rafaela and Wilyer Abreu. Obviously, Abreu won the Gold Glove also last year in right field. He's done it again this year, and then Rafaela obviously has proven himself to be one of the two or three best center fielders in baseball. I mean, arguably the best one. I mean, again, their stats speak for themselves. Abreu, again, won the Gold Glove last year. He's worth 15 defensive runs saved this year. Again, in right field, that's really impressive stuff. I think even despite the fact that he only played 104 games or something like that, at least in right field. I mean, he was still, he's inarguably the best defender in that position in the American League. And then obviously Rafaela, led basically all outfielders in every single defensive counting stat this year. Basically him and Pete Core Armstrong were basically neck and neck in those things. And then it was the rest of the field. So, just obviously it's nice to see them get the recognition that they deserve. They, again, very clearly the best defenders at their respective positions in the junior circuit. And I mean, overall, it's just, again, for a team that has not been great defensively overall in recent years, it's nice to see, obviously, that the best defenders on the team are getting rewarded for their work.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox have been in the news for the past few years, being so close to making it further and further in the postseason. And I think a lot of it has been our defensive players here, especially people like Wilyer Abreu. What I will point out, and it's something that you and I have talked about even prior to this, is that, come the postseason and a few months before, Wilyer Abreu was on the IL and didn't really get to play a lot. So it is a little bit surprising that he won this award. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm quite happy about it still, but I am still surprised. And the other thing I'll point out about Wilyer Abreu, where I'd like to say, this was very earned for him, was when Roman Anthony was coming up, there was this whole talk of the logjam that we talked about over and over and over again. But the thing that we kept going back to was Wilyer Abreu and who should stay and who should go in the outfield. And the person that we said time and time again should not leave the outfield was Wilyer Abreu. He's a veteran player. He has so many teachable moments that we'd want him and Roman Anthony to kind of like, be next to each other speaking about. And again, defensively, he's already a Gold Glove winner, so there's no surprises here. Again, the only surprise is that he was out for, near the end of the season. But overall, this isn't a huge shocker. And like you said, Rafaela, played amazingly defensively, so close to Pete Crow Armstrong in stats. I'm not shocked at all. I don't think our fans of the Red Sox are shocked at all. Do you have any kind of closing statements here about these two players?
Yeah, I think that, it's when you look at, especially recent baseball history, part of the run prevention unit, right, that gets talked about now, beyond just, obviously a good pitching staff, and then, having catchers that, can call a good game plan, is the defense behind them. And, sometimes, great defenses, I mean, really elite defenses, can make up for a lot of shortcomings elsewhere on the roster. I mean, if you look at the playoffs this year, I mean, the Cubs, the Guardians, the Brewers, I mean, those are all excellent defensive teams. They all obviously made it, into the postseason, and, the Brewers made it all the way to the NLCS. I mean, there's just, it's important to be strong in that area. And again, while we've seen the Red Sox struggle to some extent on defense at certain positions, first base hasn't been great recently. Second base was a black hole this year, besides when Marcelo Meyer was healthy. It's nice to see. Obviously, the Red Sox have two cornerstone defensive players in the outfield. Obviously, if Roman Anthony takes over left field and is as good as we think he can be, that's an entire outfield of Gold Glove caliber players. To build around on defense, and obviously you can build the infield from there. So again, I think that this is really the award itself, beyond just the recognition, isn't all that important. It's really what the body of work that they sort of accumulate. But it's nice to see, obviously, that the league and the voters have recognized just how good these guys are and what it is that the Red Sox can build on defense going forward.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. We'd always love to hear what you guys think. We try to keep these videos a little short because the season is over, but this is a big thing to talk about that, we have two great players who now have, won multiple Gold Glove awards and won a Gold Glove award on their shelf now. But what are your thoughts about this? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and of course, we'll be responding to every single one.